I've got a good memory, my father likes to say. After a moment's pause, he'll smile and add, "It's just short." His children would never argue that point with him. But in this digital age, I think we all have short memories. Personally, I have hours and hours of my family's big and small moments stored in photos and video at home, and the memories flow when we look through them on rainy days. But there are countless other memories stored only in our own memory banks, recorded with the little camcorder that got installed in the womb, and often those memories are more precious than the ones that we've captured with technology. Until something triggers them, however, they often stay dormant, tucked away in a little filing cabinet marked, "Look at these later when life is less busy." But life's busyness seems constant, and because I'm my father's son, there are moments that should not be trusted to my own length-challenged memory. So in those times, I wait for a quiet moment by myself, and I begin to write. Riding solo. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon, and I watch as my two oldest sons, Noah and Benjamin, aged 9 and 7 on this day, climb into a ride at one of those nondescript carnivals that travel from town to town throughout the summer. They are two adolescents in a 3-person car, although it looks more like a hamburger bun open on one side. And soon their car will be spinning in a circle while the long metallic arms that hold the cars will get whipped into an ever faster orbit, slingshooting each car outward toward the bystanders on one side and then back again at an equal speed toward the people on the other side. I grin at the description in my head. When it's put that way, it seems like some kind of cruel torture that we're subjecting our children to. But this is America. This is summer. And this is entertainment. And the cynic in me reflects, if that arm lets go in this direction, this is goodbye. Benjamin takes the innermost seat, Noah the outer, and they pull the safety arm down into position, tight across their laps, sealing their choice of riding solo, but also holding them inside against the centrifugal forces that will soon try to pry them out. The open space between them is my normal spot, but we're down to a few tickets, and it seems like a good time to let the boys venture out on their own. It's their first time on this ride, and to be honest, this is my wife's idea, not mine. I'm the dad who's been to the top of far more McDonald's playlands as an adult than I did as a kid, and the closest I usually get to the sidelines is the coach's box, not the stands. Letting go is a foreign concept to me, but every once in a while Nadia gets me to step back and let her children step out alone. This is one of those times, and as I stand here on the outside looking in, I realize some of what I'm missing when I'm standing too close to the trees. I lean against the ride's fence, astride to the right of Nadia and about 30 feet from the facing car, while the heavily tanned and tattooed attendant does his final safety check on the ride. By his careful routine, he appears to be more professional than he looks. But then again, Josiah, my soon-to-be preschooler playing with some paper at my feet, looks more professional than this guy. This is not a thought to dwell on. Their big moment almost here, my two older boys face each other and grin, and then lean in close, whispering to each other in the conspiratorial manner of two brothers who are close enough to share not only moments, but secrets. I can't help but smile myself, flashing back momentarily to my own youth, to my brother Dave, and to our own times of coming of age. I shake that memory off and call out to the boys to hold on. They grin back at me and nod and grab the bar in front of them at chest level. Ever the cautious parent, I motion for Noah to move his hands further apart to give him more leverage, and he changes his grip automatically, much like he does at a baseball game when I call out instructions to choke up on his bat. It begins. The grins and shrieks of delight are immediate, and they so obviously come from that youthful place of first-time experiences that I know when watching it that I may never see quite the same innocence and amazement and happiness and awe on their faces again. It's a moment I need to remember, and it dawns on me that this moment needs to be lived in its fullness rather than limiting my view to a tiny LCD screen held at arm's length. For the next few minutes, the whole world exists here. There is nothing else. One moment my boys are directly in front of us, grinning with delight, then their backs are to us as they accelerate away at a speed that I'm not accustomed to relating to my own children. Soon Nadia and I are laughing out loud at the joy of our sons and at the obvious differences in their personalities. Benjamin has leaned into each turn, screaming, grinning, laughing, and living in the moment. Meanwhile, the centrifugal forces are pulling Noah uncontrollably into his younger brother, and he is grinning and laughing and screaming at the same time. But although his body is completely leaned into Benjamin on the right side of the car, his left hand stays firmly and stubbornly gripped on the other side of the car, his arm straight and stretched seemingly to its breaking point. As each turn ends and the forces relent temporarily, I see the strain as he makes the effort to pull himself back to his rightful spot on the other side. It's a losing battle, but he had felt safe on that side of the car, and he is neither letting go of the grip nor of the thought that he needs to get back to his side, where he belongs. Nadia and I begin calling out to him to let him know that he should just let go of his grip on the left side of the bar and grip the middle where he now is. But this is as losing a battle as Noah is fighting, so we give up and just stand there laughing and smiling and whooping each time they're hurled directly back at us. Josiah and Elizabeth, age 3 and 2, are crowded up against the fence now, fully mesmerized by what their brothers are doing. Elizabeth, no doubt, scheming away to get on the ride with her brothers, while Josiah just watches in amazement, confident that he would never do such a ridiculous thing. It seems to last forever. Noah and Benjamin laughing and screaming and hurtling through each revolution and orbit of their car, over and over and over again, my boys crammed together into one common personal space that would never fly in our minivan. Benjamin is completely surrendered to the flow and the fun. Noah only half surrendered, while relentlessly fighting back to his left at the climax of each turn. My face aches from laughing, and I ignore some sort of moisture in my eyes. And then the ride suddenly slows, the forces subside for good, and as the car heads toward us on its final half orbit, there is Noah, proudly sitting on the left, hands apart and gripping the bar just like he'd started, Benjamin on his right, an open space between them, and wide, satisfied grins on both of their faces. I look over at Nadia, and she at me, and I sense that we've just watched a little micro-view of life, of our children's journey through youth, and maybe even our journey as well, stepping out into life, reveling in it, and fighting it at the same time, trying to find our way while keeping one limb in our comfort zone, struggling through it, and then trying in the end to make it look like we had it all together all along. I wonder if my father has memories like this. The attendant is there now, and as the safety bar is unlocked and lifted, Noah and Benjamin run toward us, arms raised up, ready to high-five their waiting family. "We want to do that again," they cry out. Me too, I think to myself, as I slap hands with Josiah and Elizabeth, who are fully caught up in their brother's exuberance. Yep, this one gets written down.